The grifter in chief, Donald Trump, is back at it. Now he's selling $100,000 watch and a bunch of other nonsense. Is that legal? Is that okay? Is it okay to be a president and profiteering at the same time, selling your stuff out there like you're some celebrity and using your name to make money off the American public? That's what we're talking about today. I'm Sean Kernick, and I'm joined by Brian Kabatek. This is Civil Action on the Legal AF Network. And Brian, is this legal, what he's doing?
Well, Sean, before I get into the legality, I want to talk about some of my favorite stuff that Trump is hawking right now. Just some of my favorites. Okay, you mentioned the watch, $100,000 watch. Just going to read off the list here. Trump gold sneakers for a mere $499. You can own sneakers that say Trump won 45-47, or it can say fight, fight, fight. Now, there is also a Trump autographed guitar. I don't think he plays.
Isn't he a big guitarist? He's a prolific guitarist, right?
No, I don't think he is, Sean. And this guitar can be yours for $11,500. Now, it says there's only 275 units available, but I have some bad news for you. I just ordered one, so there's only 274 left. You need to run fast and go to your phone immediately and call to buy that guitar. How about the Trump Victory 47 cologne? That's right. You can smell just like Donald Trump. Something I've always dreamed of in my life is smelling just like Donald Trump. And of course, the Trump Bible, the Trump branded Bible. Yes, that's right. For $60, he's selling the Word of God. That's right. It also has the Constitution and pictures of himself in it. So you're going to want to jump on that.
That's a good deal. That's a good deal.
How about a Trump charcuterie board, Sean?
I'm getting you that for Christmas.
It doesn't come with the charcuterie. I don't think he even knows what the word charcuterie is unless they sell it at McDonald's. But that charcuterie board, that can be yours for only $95. Landslide boots. Trump's landslide, because he won in a landslide, even though he didn't get 50% of the vote, he won in a landslide. Those can be yours for $225. And coming soon, and I'm not kidding about this, I did the research, Trump coffee. That coffee tastes like, yeah, I know, fill in your own word, and Trump chocolate bars. So those are a few of the things that Trump's selling. There's a lot more, and there's a lot more. We didn't even talk about the cryptocurrency. We didn't talk about any of these issues at all. I was reading the list because I couldn't memorize all these great things that I want to buy. But I will promise we'll do another episode when I get my guitar so that I can play it for you guys. But now, Sean, you asked a serious question. Let's talk about whether or not this is legal. Let's start with a little trip to the United States Constitution.
Sure. What part of it applies here? I don't think the Constitution is just about guns and stuff, right? That's just, you can have guns. That's all it says.
No, it actually says a lot more than that, because our founding fathers thought about things. Do you think, Sean, that our founding fathers 250 years ago sat around going, what if some jackass tries to sell a watch and put his name on it after he becomes president of the United States? Do you think that was one of the conversations they had? Or how about if the president has a guitar and he wants to sell it?
That's just awesome. What do you think the cologne smells like, Brian? What does Donald Trump smell like?
I don't even want to guess. I don't even want to go there. I don't know. Anyone who wants to smell like Donald Trump should buy that cologne.
You think he smells like
today and wear it amongst your
like
friends.
A fresh baby, like with baby powder? You think he smells like?
I don't think that would be the word I'd describe of the smell. But let's talk about possible violations of federal law. I'm not entirely sure that this directly violates the U.S. Constitution. There is the emoluments clause.
Yeah.
Why don't you basically talk about that, Sean? Explain.
Yeah. So it applies in like two contexts, I think. In the foreign context, which is you can't accept gifts or profits from foreign governments without congressional knowledge or approval.
Like a 747?
It's a big, beautiful plane.
Is there a clause in the emoluments clause that says you can't accept a 747?
Got a good deal on it. It's a good deal. It's a good deal. Somebody else is paying for it. It's a great deal. Art of the deal. No, but you can't do that. And I distinctly remember in Barack Obama's book, he talks about how when he'd do these foreign visits, sometimes he'd get to his hotel room and there would be like a box with a watch in it or something, and he'd have to report it, and he'd have to, politely reject it. That's probably not a top concern for Donald Trump.
But that's where you're getting gifts. Yeah. But the other side of the emoluments clause, Sean, talk about
that. More domestically, sort of. What it says is you can't receive extra compensation for being in that office. You can't have side hustles. That's how I understand it. You can't have side hustles. He's selling merch. He has like side businesses now, and that is being subsidized or boosted by his office by being in power. And I think that's a problem. I don't know if it's a bright line violation of it, but it certainly sounds unethical, right?
Yeah, there are laws about profiting, Ethics in Government Act, Federal Code 2635, Standards of Ethics Conduct, accepting bribes, honest services. There's a number of laws out there, and it's at times it's on the cusp. I don't think the cryptocurrency is on the cusp so much as using your office to sell something. It seems to me, fundamentally illegal that the president ethically shouldn't be able to profit while they're still in office. I mean, look, when they leave office, they're a private citizen. They can go out and sell their image and offer speeches and things like that. But where, Shant, do you draw the
Yeah.
line? If this is not over the line, $100,000 watch or cryptocurrency, buy a dinner with the president, where do you draw the
Yeah, I
line?
think that's my biggest problem with it. Where do you draw the line? What does this sort of suggest to people? And I think to me, it shows that this is all about power for him, power and using power to profit. He is a grifter. This administration is full of grifters, people that have a lot of self-interest. These aren't true public servants that like believe in leading the nation, believe in making our country and the world a better place. This is just like, I'm in power, my cronies are going to be in power, and we're going to make a killing doing it. I mean, it's it's kind of a ridiculous thing to do while you're in office. I mean, it's a lot of hoops to jump through just to go out there and make money. I mean, but look, he tried to do it the legitimate way. He tried to do it through businesses and he failed multiple times, has multiple bankruptcies, has multiple failed businesses, failed hotels, failed steaks, and a bunch of other crap that he tried to sell. So that didn't work. So I guess he's kind of taken this route now, which is be in office, find a cult-like following and sell your crap to them and make money on the side and have all your buddies make money too. Can put all of them in positions where they'll end up being lobbyists afterwards, put all of them in positions where they'll have some degree of residual power even when they're out of office. This is, I know we're kind of joking around and we started lighthearted here, but I think it is emblematic of the bigger problem here.
Well, there's a phrase that's used often, which is the appearance of impropriety. And no president has previously done this while they're still in office. There's ethical concerns about it, the appearance of impropriety of selling the presidency. I think in another episode, Shant, we'll do a deep dive. We'll do some background research and a deep dive into the real net worth of Donald Trump. Of course, the short version is that before he became president this time, it's widely believed that his net worth was much lower than the billionaire status that he claims for himself. I also think that it's true that as a result of being a huckster and as a result of selling and being involved in cryptocurrency and these real estate deals and branding issues across the world, he has moved himself into the status of being potentially a billionaire. I think his son Eric recently said the business has never thrived like this, which of course is a low threshold, right? But let me give you my final thought on this, is that the president of the United States is not LeBron James. The president of the United States is not Shohei Ohtani. They're not somebody who are allowed to profit from their image and from their position and their skills. The president of the United States is a public servant. And a public servant shouldn't be putting people in a position where they need to buy something, whether it's cryptocurrency, whether it's a watch, or whether it's my beloved guitar, which will be coming soon. The president shouldn't be putting people in a position where they feel that they need to buy something from him, nor should the president of the United States profit from his or her office. So those are my final thoughts. As usual, Shant, you get the final word.
If this office, if the presidency and the executive branch just becomes like another shitty brand, a failing Trump brand, for example, what happens to the institution? What happens to the office? This is We're supposed to be the beacon of democracy. We're supposed to be a country that other countries look up to. And here you have someone just trying to grift people by selling stupid products. I mean, putting aside the ethics of it, putting aside the morality of it, I think it's just a bad look and it's kind of ridiculous. But like I said, I think it goes to show what the real motivation here is. It's a grift. It's the desire to just make money on the backs of people. And the presidency is just a stepping stone for doing that. It's just a tool. It's a means to an end for him and everyone around him. And I think that's a big problem. I'm Sean Kernakian. That's Brian Kabatek. This is Civil Action on Legal AF. Thanks for tuning in. We'd love to hear your comments about this stuff. If there's anything you want us to cover, any interesting issues, any feedback, leave it in the comments below, like and subscribe, and follow us on socials. Thank you.
Can't get your fill of Legal AF? Me neither. That's why we formed the Legal AF Substack. Every time we mention something in a hot take, whether it's a court filing or a oral argument, come over to the Substack. You'll find the court filing and the oral argument there, including a daily roundup that I do called, wait for it, Morning AF. What else? All the other contributors from Legal AF are there as well. We got some new reporting. We got interviews. We got ad-free versions of the podcast and hot takes. Where? Legal AF on Substack. Come over now to free subscribe.